What's going on, y'all? Camden Armand here. Up your vibe moment. This one gonna hit a little differently. I'm gonna be a little more vulnerable. Um, give you my raw, authentic feelings about how everything is ultimately going in Camden's world, and the things that I've come to recognize. So, one thing like I have not spoke on is my true sense of my feelings on how everything played out in my life, my hurt, my anger, my resentment, those feelings, being pissed off, being angry, you know, having or feeling mentally unstable. Are these feelings that because I'm being reborn into something greater because my frequency is shifted, and now this is the point where I have to truly acknowledge them in order to take the next step? Man, I'm losing it. I can't even talk right now. Um, am I in a dark night of the soul? Well, maybe, but I can tell you what. I can tell you one thing. I can look into this camera and tell you one thing. Like depression, real. Anxiety, real. Uh, questioning what is and what ain't, confusion, mental blockages, life blockages, all of those things, man, they all come into play. They've all have come into play in my life, and the chickens have come home to roost. They are roosting. Um, I am exhausted. I'm tired. I'm mentally depleted. Absolutely mentally depleted. Uh, it's all been very heavy. All of this whole experience has been very heavy. And I know that there is men out there that have gone through this same experience. I know that there's women out there also that have gone through the same experience. And, we put a brave face on, society, you know, uh, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, keep going. But a lot of us, when we hit this point, we all just want to we just want rest. We just want refuge. We just want to feel again. Like, I've never in my life felt so numb to the point where, like, I just don't particularly care about people's company. I don't want to be bothered with people. The only people who I even care to engage with is like my parents, my sister, my brother, and my children. Like, there's a few other important people in there too. Like, but anything else outside of that, like, I was always the type of person that, like, I was just, very outgoing. And I think that with this whole thing, it got stripped away from me, because what I've learned is that, like, when you stop being your authentic self, when you stop being who you are at your core, then when something disrupts your core, when you've shifted, you've made all of these changes, you felt like you did all the right things, you felt like you did them all right, you thought that you were making these changes, but were you making them for you, or were you making them because you were trying to be a people pleaser, because you were trying to seek reassurance from somebody? Like, that part. I don't even think that I need to answer that question anymore, because I know the answer to it. And going forward, I can only be my authentic self. I'm not going to shift for other people because it's what they like. We can have compromise and stuff like that, but I'm not going to water down this version of me. This is the real true version of Camden. Like, I like being outside. I like exercising. I like reflection. I have a greater sense of, what is it that God in the universe wants me to do? Like, how can I be of more service to people who are worthy of my time? And how do I now take those steps? How do I now take the steps to forgive? How do I now take the steps to release and just have that moment, that aha moment where it's like, this is the surrender. That's why I'm not 100% sure if I'm going through a dark night of the soul or if I'm losing my mind. And if I'm losing my mind, it is what it is. Y'all get to see it. I'm not ashamed of it. I know my shadows. I know my insecurities. I know my fears. I know all of those things. I understand them. I'm working on them very hard. I'm working diligently on all of those things to become the best version of myself going forward, but so that I understand all of those things, so as everything is integrating, I can recognize those and be able to, if somebody is having a tough moment, or if I'm having a tough moment, it's like, okay, like, yo, you good, like understand that you're feeling this way because of what you've been through. And that doesn't exalt me of any of my actions. I'm not standing here pointing a finger, because if you point one finger, you're pointing four right back at yourself. You're pointing four fingers right back at yourself. What I can ultimately say, my actions in the past, in the dark, came to the light and led me here. This is my karma. This right here is my karma. Loneliness. Being by my dolo. Things that Geminis love. They love to be alone. We love to be alone, but we don't love to be alone. It's crazy. But I can recognize right now, going forward, that me being my authentic self is what's going to separate me from the version of Camden who I was before to the version of Camden that I'm becoming. And I think that part, the old Camden, I think that the devil, who I rebuke over and over and over again, the devil and the demons that are trying to, keep me in that old form. They want me to stay in that old form. They don't want to see me ascend to what I'm ultimately supposed to ascend to. And and that's ultimately going to happen to others as well. Like some of my homeboys, that watch these reels, that watch these videos, that like and share my content, they ultimately can see it too. Like, they've gone through these things too. And I'm sure that some of y'all were going through some of the same things I'm going through. I'll tell you right now, like, with this Mercury retrograde, I don't know if things are just really, really, really illuminated. And that's what's ultimately driving some of these feelings, some of this communication, some of the ways that I'm feeling, but it's driving my creativity. And it's ultimately making me recognize that what's aligning for me, the things that are ultimately supposed to align for us, are right within you. But when you take that hard look within you, it gets dark, man. It does. It gets dark when you have to. It probably doesn't help the hours that I have to work at my job. My job is kind of like a prison. Like the lighting is messed up. You go in at like 2:30 in the morning, then you get out at like 12:30, 1:30 in the afternoon. It's it's all very. I'm very worn down. I'm mentally worn down. I just want my mind to be quiet. and I meditate and I do that, and my mind momentarily stays quiet. I want my mind to consistently be quiet. I need to detach from these things and honor my past, but I need to be able to have that cord be cut from my past, and just with love wave it goodbye, so that I can form into what I'm supposed to form into and not give it anything energetically anymore. And I think that this is hopefully one of those moments where I am ascending into something different again, and I'm able to, speak my mind from a place of love, but from a place of compassion, and be able to release all of this. Like, it all, like, the whole thing has hurt me gravely. Like, it gets my thoughts spinning to where it's like, I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be a super positive experience. But yeah, like, you could, like, literally, if you wanted to, you could put a bullet through your head and, like, just, like, let this all be gone. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't ultimately want to kill myself, but that's how intrusive my thoughts are. That's how intrusive your thoughts can get when you're going through things like this. But I know that it's because the devil doesn't want you, and my body is trying to also cling on to the old version. And I don't want to be that old version no more. I don't want to be that old version. I want all of everything coming into me that I'm recognizing. I'm going to be able to see it from a mile away. I'm going to be able to check a pattern from a mile away. I'm going to be able to know, like, when something doesn't serve me or is not aligning with who I am, and then I can just walk away from it and have peace and do it all from a place of love and a space of love. Period. Now, this was a hard talk. This was a long one. This is a little bit longer form. Anybody who listened, I'm grateful. I have gratitude, a lot of gratitude, that you tuned in and you listened. But this is what it looked like. This is what it looked like. Just, it's hard. Flat out. It's hard. But you know what? It ain't over. Life is not over. We keep moving forward. Love always conquers hate. Love always conquers resentment. Love conquers all, man. Because God is love and love is God, period. So anybody who this may have resonated with, I hope that this helps, some of us, whoever is going through anything like this. Don't hold it in. You have to be able to let it out. Because if you don't let it out, it's going to just fester in you, and it'll creep back into some of the things that you ultimately try to do in your future. And I don't want any of the past Camden creeping into the future. So, it's all been a lot. It's been a lot. I'm exhausted. I'm tired, man. I'm tired. I'm smiling to keep myself from crying right now. But, I want to thank everyone who's reached out, the people who have, truly shown me support. Mental health is very important. Keep that in check. If y'all really, like, I think a part of this for me is my spiritual path. But if you feel as if you are losing it, don't just think that it's because spiritually something is happening to you. If you need to go seek help from a doctor or anything like that, please go seek help. Please go seek help. Professional help is always encouraged. Either via therapy, even if you got to take meds. I don't believe in meds. But whatever you need to do to kick that depression, to kick that anxiety, all of those things. For me, it's really getting outside and acknowledging my feelings. But look, this was a long form. I share this all with love and tenderness. Period. I share it all. So that's me bearing my soul on how everything has ultimately been working out for me. Love and light. Stay hopeful, stay humble, and continue to up your vibe.